I'm sitting at the family dinner table, fork frozen halfway to my mouth. My granddaughter, Chelsea, laughs with her fiancé about their upcoming wedding plans. She's 24 now, full of energy and dreams. I smile, listening quietly, then she turns to her mother, my daughter, Rita, and says something that makes my heart stop. Honestly, Mom, I don't know how we'll manage having Grandma at the reception. She's becoming such a burden, you know? The room goes silent for a second. Rita shoots her a warning look, but Chelsea just shrugs like it's nothing. My son-in-law, Tom, clears his throat awkwardly. Nobody says anything to defend me. I keep my face calm, even though my chest feels tight. I take a slow sip of water, pretending I didn't hear. But I heard every single word. Burden. That's what she called me. I've lived 73 years. I raised Rita by myself after my husband died. I worked 2 jobs to put her through college. I babysat Chelsea countless times when Rita needed help. And now, I'm a burden. I set my glass down gently. Inside, something shifts. I decide right then, she'll learn a lesson she won't forget. I wasn't always this quiet. When I was young, I spoke my mind freely. I fought for what I believed in. I marched in rallies, organized community events, stood up to anyone who tried to push me around, but life has a way of softening you. After my husband, James, passed away 30 years ago, I learned to keep my pain private. I raised Rita with gentle strength, teaching her to be kind and strong. I never complained, never asked for much. Rita turned out wonderful. She married Tom, and they gave me Chelsea, my only grandchild. I poured my love into that little girl. I taught her to read, baked her favorite cookies, listened to her childhood secrets. Chelsea was sweet once. She'd climb into my lap and say, "Grandma, you're my favorite person ever." Those words kept me going during my loneliest days, but somewhere between high school and college, she changed. She became obsessed with appearances, popularity, status. She started dating Daniel, a wealthy lawyer's son. Suddenly, I wasn't exciting enough for her new life. Still, I never imagined she'd call me a burden. Not after everything we'd shared. I thought our bond was stronger than that. I was wrong. That night, I lie awake in my small bedroom at Rita's house. I moved in 2 years ago after my hip surgery. Rita insisted I stay permanently. She said she wanted me close, that it made sense. Now I wonder if Chelsea resents me for living here. Maybe she thinks I'm taking up space, cramping her style. The thought stings like a slap. I stare at the ceiling, replaying her words. Burden. The word echoes in my mind, cruel and sharp. I could confront her. I could tell Rita how hurt I am. But what would that accomplish? Chelsea would probably apologize without meaning it. Rita would feel caught in the middle. Nothing would really change. No, I need something bigger. Something that will make Chelsea truly understand what she's saying when she dismisses someone who loves her. An idea starts forming, hazy at first. Chelsea keeps a diary. I've seen her writing in it since she was 13. She guards it carefully, stores it in her old room upstairs. I sit up slowly, heart pounding. Would I really do this? Read her private thoughts? Then I remember her voice, such a burden. And I know. Yes, I would. The next morning, I wait until everyone leaves. Rita goes to work, Tom heads to his office, Chelsea drives to her dress fitting. The house falls silent. I climb the stairs slowly, gripping the railing. My hip aches, but I push through. Chelsea's old room is at the end of the hall, decorated with photos from her high school years. I hesitate at the doorway. This feels wrong. Invading her privacy crosses a line. But then I think about how she invaded my dignity, how casually she dismissed my existence. I step inside. The room smells like her old perfume, floral and sweet. I scan the space, looking for hiding spots. The closet seems obvious. I slide open the door and search through shoeboxes and storage bins. Nothing. I check under the bed, behind the dresser. Still nothing. Then I notice her old desk in the corner. I pull open drawers, feeling like a spy. In the bottom drawer, beneath some old school papers, I find it, a pink leather journal, worn at the edges. My hands tremble as I lift it out. I carry it downstairs and sit in the living room. For a long moment, I just hold it. Once I open this, there's no going back. Then I flip to the first page. The entries start from 3 years ago. Chelsea's handwriting is loopy and dramatic, filled with exclamation points. The first pages are innocent, complaints about college classes, excitement about parties, crush confessions. I flip forward, scanning months of entries. Then I find something that makes me pause. Grandma's moving in permanently. Mom says it's the right thing to do, but honestly, I'm not thrilled. I'll have to be quiet when I come home late. And what if Daniel visits? It's embarrassing having an old lady around. My throat tightens. Even back then, she was ashamed of me. I keep reading. More entries reveal her true feelings. She writes about feeling annoyed when I ask about her day, frustrated when I need help with technology, embarrassed when her friends see me at family gatherings, but it's not all that negative. Some entries surprise me. Grandma made my favorite soup today when I was sick. I forgot how much I loved it. Sometimes I miss how close we used to be, so she does remember. Somewhere inside, she knows what we had. I read deeper, finding entries about Daniel, her fears about marriage, her insecurities. She's not just shallow, she's scared, trying to build a perfect life to hide her doubts. Understanding blooms in my chest, but it doesn't erase the hurt. Over the next week, I read the entire diary. I do it carefully, a few pages each day, always returning it to its hiding spot. Chelsea never suspects a thing. The entries paint a picture of a young woman terrified of not measuring up. She writes about Daniel's wealthy family, how they intimidate her. She worries they think she's not good enough. Daniel's mother keeps hinting that I should lose weight before the wedding. She showed me pictures of his ex-girlfriend, who was a model. I feel like I'm constantly being compared. My heart aches for her. But then I read this. At least I'm not like Grandma, old, forgotten, invisible. I'm going to matter. I'm going to be someone important. The cruelty of it takes my breath away. She's using me as her example of failure. I find another entry from 2 weeks ago. The wedding planning is stressful. Daniel wants everything perfect. His family is paying for most of it, so they control everything. Sometimes I wonder if I'm marrying him or his lifestyle. But I can't back out now. Everyone's watching. I have to prove I'm successful. She's trapped in her own web of appearances. And I'm just collateral damage. In her desperate climb, I close the diary, mind spinning with possibilities. Rita notices I'm quieter than usual. She asks if I'm feeling okay, if my hip is bothering me. I assure her I'm fine, just tired. Chelsea comes by for dinner one evening, bubbling with wedding details. She talks about the venue, the flowers, the expensive photographer Daniel's parents hired. She doesn't look at me once during the entire meal. Rita tries to include me in the conversation. Mom, Chelsea's wearing your old pearl necklace with her dress. Isn't that sweet? Chelsea nods absently. Yeah, something old, something borrowed. It's tradition. She says it without warmth, like I'm just a convenient prop for her perfect wedding story. I smile politely and excuse myself early, claiming exhaustion. In my room, I think about the necklace, the one James gave me on our wedding day. I wore it when Rita was born, when James died, at every important moment of my life. Now it's just a checklist item for Chelsea's Instagram-worthy wedding. That night, I make my decision. I'll go to the wedding. I'll smile in photos. And during the reception, when everyone's relaxed and happy, I'll give a speech, a very special speech. The wedding is 2 months away. I start planning carefully. I reread certain diary entries, marking pages with sticky notes. I want to choose passages that will make an impact without being unnecessarily cruel. I'm not trying to destroy Chelsea. I'm trying to wake her up. I also start recording voice memos on my phone, practicing what I'll say. Rita taught me how to use the recording app, though she'd be horrified if she knew what I was planning. I practice my tone, calm, measured, loving but firm. I'm not going to scream or cry. I'm going to speak truth with dignity. Some days, doubt creeps in. Am I being petty? Vindictive? Will this damage our family forever? But then I remember Chelsea's face when she called me a burden. The casual dismissal, like I was nothing, and I remember all the other small cruelties. The times she ignored my calls, forgot my birthday, rolled her eyes when I shared stories from my past. This isn't about revenge. It's about being seen. About reminding her that invisible people have voices too. I also start writing my own journal entries, documenting my feelings. If Chelsea can write about me, I can write about this experience. It helps me organize my thoughts, clarify my intentions. By the end of the first month, I'm ready. I know exactly what I'll say. Rita asks me to help with wedding preparations. I agree, though it feels strange knowing what I know. We spend an afternoon addressing invitations, Rita chatting happily about how beautiful everything will be. Chelsea's grown into such a wonderful young woman, Rita says, smiling. I'm so proud of her, I nod, swallowing my words. Rita doesn't see what I see. To her, Chelsea is still that sweet little girl who could do no wrong. Are you excited to give a toast, Mum? Rita asks suddenly. I freeze. A toast? Well, yes. Daniel's father is speaking, and I thought you might want to say a few words about Chelsea. You two have always been close. My heart races. This is even better than I hoped. An official invitation to speak. I'd be honored. I manage. Rita beams. Perfect. Chelsea will love that. I doubt that very much. But I smile and continue addressing envelopes, my mind already spinning with possibilities. That evening, I refine my speech. I'll start with warm memories, disarm everyone with nostalgia. Then, carefully, I'll introduce the diary excerpts. Just enough to make my point but without causing a complete disaster. I practice in front of my bedroom mirror, watching my expression. I need to look hurt but dignified, disappointed but loving. It's a delicate balance. 2 more months. Then everyone will understand. Chelsea stops by one afternoon, looking stressed. She sits at the kitchen table while Rita makes tea. I'm in the living room, pretending to read. Daniel's mother is driving me insane, Chelsea complains. She changed the flower arrangements without asking me. She says white roses are more elegant than pink peonies. Rita makes sympathetic sounds. It's your wedding, honey. You should have what you want, but they're paying for everything, Chelsea says, voice tight. I don't have much say. Daniel keeps telling me to just go along with it, keep the peace. I feel a pang of sympathy despite everything. She's learning that perfect lives come with strings attached. Then Chelsea says something that makes me grip my book harder. At least after the wedding, Daniel and I can start fresh. New apartment, new life. Away from all this family drama and expectations. No offense, Mom, but I'm ready for my own space. And definitely no roommates. No grandmothers. Just us. Rita laughs nervously. Well, Mom's not that bad, is she? Chelsea doesn't answer, just sips her tea. The silence speaks volumes. I stand up slowly and walk to the kitchen doorway. They both turn to look at me. I think I'll take a walk, I say quietly. Chelsea barely glances my way. Okay, Grandma. I leave the house, heart pounding with anger and hurt. Every doubt I had vanishes. She needs to hear this. The weeks crawl by. Spring arrives, bringing warm sunshine and blooming flowers. The wedding date approaches fast. Chelsea becomes a whirlwind of final preparations. Barely home, Rita grows more excited, constantly showing me photos of the venue, the decorations, the cake designs. I nod and smile, playing the supportive grandmother. Inside, I'm counting down. 1 month. 3 weeks. 2 weeks. 1 week. I finalize my speech, memorizing key passages from the diary. I practice until the words flow naturally, until I can deliver them without stumbling. I also make peace with the consequences. This will hurt Chelsea. It might damage our relationship permanently. Rita will be upset. Family gatherings may never be the same, but some truths need to be spoken, even when they're uncomfortable. The day before the wedding, Chelsea comes home with her dress. She models it for Rita and me, twirling in the living room. She looks beautiful, young, radiant, full of hope. For a moment, I almost back out. She's still my granddaughter. I raised her, loved her, watched her grow. But then she catches sight of herself in the mirror and says, "Daniel's going to lose his mind when he sees me. I look perfect, not I feel beautiful. Not I'm so happy. Just I look perfect, and I know I'm doing the right thing." The wedding day dawns bright and clear. Rita wakes me early, buzzing with excitement. We dress carefully, she in a lavender mother of the bride dress, me in a simple navy gown. At the venue, everything is elegant and expensive. White roses everywhere, crystal chandeliers, a string quartet playing soft music. Daniel's family spared no expense. I sit in the second row during the ceremony, watching Chelsea walk down the aisle. She's stunning, and genuinely happy in this moment. Daniel looks at her with real affection. Maybe they'll make it work. The ceremony is traditional and sweet. They exchange vows, kiss, and everyone applauds. I clap along, my heart a confused mix of love and determination. At the reception, I'm seated at a table with distant relatives. They make polite small talk, asking about my health, my life. I answer briefly, my mind elsewhere. The dinner is delicious, filet mignon, roasted vegetables, fancy desserts. Champagne flows freely. People laugh and dance. It's a beautiful celebration. Then the toasts begin. Daniel's father goes first, making jokes and welcoming Chelsea to the family. Everyone laughs, glasses clink. Rita stands next, tearful and proud, talking about watching Chelsea grow up. She mentions me briefly, and thanks to my mother, who helped raise this wonderful woman. Chelsea smiles at Rita but doesn't look at me. Then Rita turns to me. "Mom, would you like to say a few words?" The room falls quiet. Everyone looks at me. This is it. I stand slowly, my legs shaking slightly. Rita hands me a microphone. I clear my throat, looking around at the faces, family, friends, strangers. "Thank you all for being here," I begin, my voice steady. "I'm Helen, Chelsea's grandmother. I've known this beautiful bride since she was born." People smile warmly. Chelsea looks mildly interested but not worried. She has no idea what's coming. "I remember when Chelsea was 3 years old," I continue. "She climbed into my lap and told me I was her favorite person in the whole world." Those words meant everything to me, as ripple through the crowd. Rita's eyes glisten with tears. I've watched Chelsea grow into a smart, ambitious young woman. I've supported her through school, relationships, challenges. I've always been there when she needed me. Chelsea's smile starts to look a bit fixed. She senses something's off, but recently, I learned something that broke my heart. I say, my voice dropping. I learned that Chelsea sees me very differently than I thought. The room shifts. People exchange confused glances. Rita's face goes pale. Chelsea's eyes widen. A few weeks ago, at a family dinner, Chelsea called me a burden. She said she didn't know how they'd manage having me at this reception. Gasps echo through the room. Chelsea's face drains of color. Daniel looks shocked. Rita covers her mouth. "At first, I was just hurt," I continue, ignoring the whispers. "But then I did something I'm not proud of." I read Chelsea's diary. Chelsea stands up abruptly, but Daniel pulls her back down. Her face is bright red. People are staring. "I know I shouldn't have invaded her privacy," I say calmly. But I needed to understand. And what I found was revealing. I pull out small note cards. I've written down key excerpts, not the whole diary. I'm not trying to humiliate her completely. Chelsea wrote this 3 years ago. "Having grandma around is embarrassing. What if Daniel visits? It's awkward having an old lady here. The silence is deafening. Rita looks like she might faint, and this, from 6 months ago. At least I'm not like Grandma, old, forgotten, invisible. I'm going to be someone important. Chelsea's eyes fill with tears. She's shaking her head, mouthing no. But I continue. I'm sharing this not to hurt you, Chelsea, but to teach you something important. Words matter. Dismissing people matters. I'm not just an old lady taking up space. I'm a human being who loved you unconditionally. My voice cracks slightly, but I steady myself. I worked 2 jobs to raise your mother alone. I babysat you countless times. I taught you to read, baked your favorite cookies, listened to your secrets. And you called me a burden. Tears stream down Chelsea's face now. Daniel has his arm around her, looking uncomfortable. Rita is crying silently. The guests sit frozen, unsure how to react. I'm telling you this because you're starting a marriage, I say, my voice gentler now. And marriage requires seeing people, really seeing them. Not as props or conveniences or burdens, but as complex human beings deserving of respect. I look directly at Chelsea. I love you. I always will. But you hurt me deeply, and you need to know that your words have consequences. I set down the microphone and sit. The room stays silent for what feels like forever. Then, slowly, someone starts clapping. An elderly man at a corner table, one of Daniel's relatives. Others join in, scattered, uncertain applause. Not everyone. Some people look scandalized. But enough that I don't feel completely alone. Rita rushes over to me, tears streaming down her face. Mom, why didn't you tell me? Because this was between Chelsea and me, I whisper. Chelsea remains at the head table, sobbing. Daniel looks torn between comforting her and being angry on her behalf. The wedding coordinator tries to salvage the moment by cueing the band to start playing. People slowly return to conversation, but the energy has shifted. The perfect wedding has a crack in it now. I've done what I came to do. The reception continues awkwardly. Some guests avoid me, while others approach quietly, offering sympathetic words. One woman, Daniel's aunt, whispers, "That took courage. Good for you." Rita stays by my side, protective and confused. She keeps asking why I didn't come to her first. I don't have a good answer except that some battles have to be fought directly. Chelsea disappears into a back room with her bridesmaids. I see them through a window, her friends hugging her, probably telling her I'm cruel and wrong. Maybe I am. The doubt returns now that the adrenaline is fading. Did I ruin her wedding day? Will she ever forgive me? But then I remember her voice, such a burden. And I know I'd do it again. After an hour, Chelsea and Daniel emerge. They do their first dance, cut the cake, go through all the traditional motions. Chelsea's smile is forced, her eyes red. But she's trying, I give her credit for that. She could have fled entirely, but she's finishing what she started. As the evening winds down, Rita drives me home. We ride in silence for a while. Finally, she says, "I had no idea you felt that way." "I didn't want to worry you," I reply, "but Mom, that's what I'm here for. You're not a burden to me. You never have been." Her words soothe some of the ache in my chest. "Thank you, sweetheart." Back home, I collapse into bed, exhausted. My phone buzzes with texts, some supportive, some critical. I turn it off, unable to deal with reactions tonight. Sleep doesn't come easily. I replay the evening over and over, analyzing every moment, every word. Chelsea's face haunts me, the shock, the tears, the betrayal. I wonder if I've lost her forever. The thought makes my chest tight with regret. But I also feel something else, relief. I spoke my truth. I didn't stay silent, didn't accept being diminished. For the first time in years, I stood up for myself. That has to count for something. The next morning, Rita makes breakfast quietly. We eat in silence. Around noon, my phone buzzes again. I turn it on hesitantly. There's a text from Chelsea. "Can we talk?" Please, my heart leaps. I text back immediately, yes. When? Today? Can I come over? I agree. Rita looks nervous when I tell her. Do you want me here? She asks. No, I say gently. This needs to be just us. 2 hours later, Chelsea knocks on the door. She looks terrible, eyes puffy, face pale, no makeup. She's wearing jeans and an old sweatshirt, a far cry from yesterday's bride. I let her in, and we sit in the living room. The silence stretches between us, heavy and uncomfortable. Finally, Chelsea speaks. I'm so sorry, Grandma. Her voice breaks on the words. Fresh tears spill down her cheeks. I never meant to hurt you. I was just stressed and stupid and I said things I didn't mean. I wait, letting her continue. Reading my diary at my wedding was horrible, she says, anger flashing. You humiliated me in front of everyone. Daniel's family thinks I'm a terrible person now, are you? I ask quietly. A terrible person? She flinches. No. I've been under so much pressure. Daniel's parents, the wedding, trying to be perfect. I took it out on you, and that was wrong. But you didn't have to destroy my wedding. I didn't destroy it, I reply. You did, when you called me a burden. I just made sure you understood the impact of your words. Chelsea wipes her eyes angrily. Everyone's talking about it. Social media is blowing up. People are calling me spoiled and ungrateful. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, was it? I challenge. Or was it supposed to look perfect for everyone else? She freezes, caught. Chelsea, I read your diary. I know you're terrified of not measuring up. I know Daniel's family makes you feel small. I know you're scared. Her face crumbles. I am scared. I'm scared I'm not good enough, that I'll fail, that everyone will see I'm just faking it. My heart softens. I move closer, taking her hand. You're more than enough. You always have been. Chelsea sobs openly now, years of pressure and fear pouring out. I hold her like I did when she was small, stroking her hair, murmuring comfort. I'm so sorry, Grandma, she gasps. I never wanted to hurt you. You've always been there for me, and I threw it away because I was trying to be someone I'm not. I know, sweetheart. I know. We sit together for a long time. Eventually, her tears slow. She pulls back, wiping her face with her sleeve. I don't know if I can fix this, she admits. Everyone saw. Everyone knows what I said, what I wrote. Then you own it, I tell her. You apologize sincerely. You do better. You prove through your actions that you've learned. She nods slowly. Will you forgive me? I already have, I say honestly. But forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. You'll need to rebuild trust, with me and with others. I will, she promises. I'll do whatever it takes. We talk for another hour. She tells me about her fears regarding Daniel, about feeling trapped by expectations. I listen, offering perspective from my own marriage, my own struggles. By the time she leaves, something has shifted between us. The air feels clearer, the wounds exposed but beginning to heal. Rita comes home later, and I tell her about our conversation. She hugs me tightly. I'm proud of you, Mum. For standing up for yourself, even though I ruined her wedding. I ask Riley, you didn't ruin it. You made it real. The following weeks are difficult. The fallout from the wedding spreads through our extended family. Some people side with me, others with Chelsea. Family group chats explode with arguments. Daniel's parents are reportedly furious. They consider the whole thing tasteless and inappropriate. Chelsea has to smooth things over, apologizing repeatedly, but something interesting happens too. Other people start sharing their stories, grandparents who felt dismissed, parents who felt invisible, relatives who swallowed hurt for years. My speech sparked conversations about how we treat our elders, how we value people beyond their usefulness. It's uncomfortable and messy, but necessary. Chelsea posts a public apology on social media. It's genuine and vulnerable, acknowledging her mistakes. The responses are mixed. but many people appreciate her honesty. She starts coming to visit me more often. We have coffee, talk about real things, not just surface pleasantries. She opens up about her marriage, her struggles with Daniel's controlling family. I offer advice when asked, mostly just listen. We're rebuilding slowly, brick by careful brick. One afternoon, she brings me flowers, my favorite, purple irises. For everything, she says simply, I put them in a vase, touched by the gesture. They're beautiful, so are you, she replies. I'm sorry it took me so long to see that. We hug, and it feels real. Not performative or obligatory, but genuine. Months pass. Daniel and Chelsea move into their new apartment. She invites me to visit, shows me around proudly. It's small but cozy, filled with their personality. She's also started standing up to Daniel's parents, setting boundaries, making her own decisions. She tells me it's scary but necessary. You taught me that, she says. At the wedding. You showed me that speaking up matters, even when it's hard. I feel a swell of pride. Maybe the pain was worth it after all. Rita and I grow even closer. She tells me she's always admired my strength but never realized how much I sacrificed. We have deeper conversations now, about her childhood, my marriage, the family dynamics we never discussed before. My hip still aches. I'm still 73, still slower than I used to be. But I don't feel like a burden anymore. I feel seen. Chelsea asks if she can take me to lunch one day. We go to a small cafe, order soup and sandwiches. She talks about her job, her hopes for the future. Then she says, I want kids someday. And when I do, I want you involved. Really involved. I want them to know their great-grandmother. Tears prick my eyes. I'd love that. I'll teach them to respect you, she promises. To listen to your stories, to value your wisdom. I won't let them make the same mistakes I did. You didn't make mistakes, I tell her gently. You learned. That's what matters. It's been nearly a year since the wedding. Chelsea and Daniel come to Sunday dinner regularly now. The atmosphere is lighter, more genuine. Daniel even apologized to me privately, saying he hadn't realized how Chelsea was treating me. He's made an effort to include me in conversations, asking about my past, my experiences. I've started writing my memoirs. Chelsea encouraged me, saying my stories deserve to be preserved. Rita helps me organize photos and documents. It's become a family project. One evening, Chelsea brings over her old diary. I want you to have this, she says, placing it in my hands. I'm surprised. Why? Because it's part of our story now. The good and the bad. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm just grateful we found our way back to each other. I flip through the pages, seeing her growth, her struggles, her journey. Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for not giving up on me, she replies. We sit together, grandmother and granddaughter, two women who hurt each other and healed. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty. But it was real, and in the end, that's all that matters. Being seen. Being heard. Being valued. I'm not a burden. I never was. I'm a woman with a lifetime of experiences, love to give, and a voice that deserves to be heard. Chelsea knows that now. And so do I. The wedding was just one day. But the lessons we learned will last forever. Sometimes love means speaking hard truths. Sometimes it means listening when you'd rather run, and sometimes it means reading a diary at a wedding reception, shocking everyone into paying attention. Would I do it again? Honestly, yes. Because silence protects no one. And I refuse to be invisible anymore. We're both stronger for it. Scarred, yes. But stronger. And that's worth everything.